Hi, I'm Wanhee, and this was me every day for a year. Now I look back and I can spot the exact triggers that made me feel you don't have to feel bad every day. You can engineer your day so you feel amazing instead. It's actually quite easy. Let me show you how. The first thing that I realized when I was having the worst kinds of days, it's not like really bad news came in my phone or something terrible happened. I mean, of course, those days are bad. What is the number one thing that was happening is that I didn't do something that moved the bloody needle. There are always things in your life that you think you should do, or that you think really deep down truly move you closer to whatever it is that you're aspiring to achieve. Whether that's weight loss, building a body, building a business, there's an action that moves the needle in the direction that your soul wants. What actually impacted and moved things forward? When you execute something like this, and for me, oftentimes it's filming a video, it's doing something like this, or actually giving value to my coaching clients and making something, building something. When I do work like that, the whole day prior to it could have been kind of meh and I could have been feeling bad. The moment I do that, I feel good and it becomes a good day. In order to actually feel good, you have to do something that you know to be moving the needle. We're going to get into how do you know which actions actually move the needle at the end of this video. Let's get on to the next point. Now you might think, oh, I knew that already, Wanhee. I know I need to do something that moves the needle, duh. But why don't you do it then? And what I found in my life is that every time I had too many things to do, too many things to think about and focus on and optimize for, I just would say, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll just think about it later. I'll just do that thing like next week. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're undisciplined. It's because you're overwhelmed. There are too many moving parts. In my case, when it comes to running a business, let's say I'm trying to make content and I'm thinking about I need to make YouTube videos, or I need to make YouTube shorts, and then I need to make Instagram reels, and then I make TikTok, and then I need to do captions for all of them, and then I need to send them to my editor, and then I need to give feedback to all the shorts guys, and then I need to write emails, and I need to increase my email sign. It's just too many moving parts in one go. And when you try to tackle all of those at the same time, you get overwhelmed and you say, let me go have an ice cream. Let me go have a cigarette. Let me go just chill out and lie down for a bit. Massively reduce the amount of things you focus on in a day. What that might mean is just hard cut elimination of a lot of things that you currently do that you think are important, but actually don't move the needle. So you take out a bunch of them. You might want to delegate a whole bunch of things to people that you work with, or people that you can pay to do the work for you. For instance, you might delegate the cleaning of your house. Some things that just take things out of your plate would be good. Not everybody has the resources to do that, in which case you want to eliminate, you want to delegate, and you want to just train yourself to make about 2 to 3 things you're going to get done in a day, and then just stick to that. Zoom in so you don't get overwhelmed. And already that's going to help you do the thing that moves the needle, which is going to make you feel good. The next thing is something that I realized after spending about 48 hours indoors. This has not happened in almost 2 to 3 years, but back when I was in that state of living day to day in chronic anxiety and mild depression, I would spend sometimes 2 days just not moving out of the house. And I would get these migraines, like these headaches, and I only caught on to, I was like, okay, if I spend 2 whole days inside with no oxygen, fresh oxygen, I'm gonna get headaches. But it goes deeper than that. It's the lack of movement and exercise. And I realized this fairly recently, where because of an injury, my neck injury from jiu-jitsu, I couldn't actually leave the house or do some movement and exercise, and it really made me physically but also mentally really down. Work in movement into your daily routine. The easiest way, as I always say, is to set a time in the day and go for a walk. 30-minute walks every day. Walking you can combine with other activities that you like, whether that's gaming even on a treadmill, listening to a podcast on a riverside walk, talking to your friend, or brainstorming creative ideas if you're a creative person. So just keep moving. If you can do martial arts, yoga, climbing, gym, whatever it is, get moving. This is going to make you feel 100 times better. The next thing that makes you feel crap is what I realized when I was coaching my clients. So every week I jump on with some serious guys and girls who want to build muscle, lose fat, stay consistent, and basically build a healthy, lean, aesthetic body. And what happened was I was on these calls and I'd be talking. I could almost just feel my brain slowing down, fogging up. The clarity with which I could express my thoughts and explain, ideas, it just went away. I would waffle. I caught this and I realized every time I've had this sensation, I had a huge carby meal beforehand. And this also happened to me at lunchtime. So if you're feeling like brain foggy and you don't really feel motivated to do anything, ask yourself if you've had a big meal beforehand, and the big meal has to be high carb. or high sugar. I believe what this is because you've had so much dopamine, but also just so much sugar in your system, you've almost subconsciously or consciously signaled to your body that you've gotten what it takes to survive. You don't need to try any hard. You can just chillax now. And your brain kind of shuts down. It's not as sharp anymore. And so you just have this brain fog and you're not that productive. Be very wary of these huge carby meals. And of course, processed food will have double the impact when it comes to brain fog, right? So understand that if you're eating too much sugar and processed foods, this is going to make you feel pretty bad as well. Next, the other day, I was very, very busy, but I was overwhelmed and I was feeling down. And I was looking through some stuff and then a Pokemon game video came up on YouTube. And I remember I was like, I used to play those games. Those games were so fun. And the thing with Pokemon games, it's so simple. It's like 2D and it's super addictive. And it's one of the best ways to just shut your brain off and do something else and basically run away from your problems. I thought about getting the game. And then I was like, there's no way I'm going to play Pokemon. Right now, I have all these things. I can't just sit here and play Pokemon. And then I did it. I actually played. Not only did I play, I beat the whole Elite Four in Fire Red and Emerald in the space of 2 days. I'm not proud to admit it, but it did happen. And it was fairly recent. So when you do something you said you wouldn't do, it's like you've broken the promise to yourself. And if you're not a psycho, when you break a promise with somebody, like you're gonna meet them and then you just lie or something, like if you've ever done that, you feel really bad, like when you break a promise. And it's the same thing with yourself. If you say something, your word should have some weight. And if you just don't do it, then afterwards you're gonna feel crap. Get in the habit of not doing the things you said you wouldn't do. This is just as much to myself as it is to anyone that needs to hear it. Next, I was in Milan and I was in a PhD program that I just really didn't align with. In fact, the whole premise of the PhD was for me to prolong my studies as a way to somehow avoid going to the military. You know, I was running away from this fear that I had all my life. And then, you know, I said, this is not how I want to live my life. I don't want to be running away. I was sitting there reading these articles, wondering who's ever gonna read my PhD thesis on the sharing economy. It just seemed so pointless to me, and I didn't want to be doing that. I would spend every day drinking, eating crap, partying to avoid my problems, and then it all piled up into this back pain that started that I thought was gonna disappear, but didn't for months. And the back pain started going down my legs. Sciatica, full-on nerve pain down my legs. And as somebody that loved sports and moving and all this kind of stuff, I felt really, really sad. You know, I remember spending hours in the bed with my elbows perched because that was the only painless position, and just waking up in sweats, like literally waking up in the middle of the night thinking, what the F am I doing in this city, in this PhD? This is not my life. It's crazy to think about it now, but it was because I was misaligned. I was not aligned to my purpose. What I wanted to do was inspire confidence in other people. I wanted to help people. I wanted to make content. I wanted to tell people about how you can change. And I didn't know at the time it was going to be fitness. I just wanted to do something else. When you feel bad, a lot of them could actually originate from a misalignment of your purpose, what you deep down want to be spending your time on. The way this comes is that there'll be an idea, there'll be a thought, there'll be something, and you'll feel like, yeah, I want to do that. That sounds really good. But very quickly, your brain's going to come and rationalize and say, nah, don't do that. That's stupid. You would never make it. What are you talking about? Go back to your job. That little voice that's there inside you, that might be very close to what you actually want to do. And don't be afraid to go after it, water it, and just see where it goes. Just look what happened to me. I was writing freaking YouTube titles sitting in a military base when I didn't even know like how to make a YouTube account. Then I started when I came out. So believe first before it comes true, and just start watering the idea so that you can move a little bit closer to your purpose. Don't feel bad if you miss the mark, because every time you're getting closer. Anyways, a long-winded way to say, if you feel bad, it might be because of a deeper misaligned problem with your purpose. Next, you might be feeling bad because you're living the life that you didn't set out for yourself. Again, going back to the story of my PhD, when I wanted to quit, everybody that was close to me, my parents, my family, my friends, virtually everybody said, why would you quit it? Just keep going. And my parents would say things like, a PhD is different from a master's. PhD program will open so many doors. When I quit the PhD, and they were like, oh, you should go for these interviews in these firms because you need to learn business in a proper company before you start your own. All of these things. And honestly, my parents, my family, my friends, they all say these things sometimes with the best of intentions. Sometimes they do believe that is the best path for you. But if you get in the habit of listening to people around you, even when they mean well, instead of making your own mistakes, instead of giving it your own shot, then you will start to live the life that other people have set out for you. And this is one of the fastest ways to feel crap. Have you ever spent a day running errands for other people? Like, if you're a people pleaser, wants to get along with people, you may have actually done something like this. Like, your parents, your family ask you to do a favor, like, oh, can you post this? Can you do this on the way? Can you please pick this up? And you're like, I'm a nice son, I'm a nice friend, I'll do that. And then, John wants to go for a drink, and then Kevin wants to have a burger the next day, and then you start doing all of these things, and at the end of the day, you sit down and you're like, what got done? You feel shit because you didn't do anything that moved the needle for you. That's a micro scale. But think on a macro scale how some people live their entire lives by the opinions, judgments, and advice of other people. Even those guys with the best of intentions, all right? So if you're watching this and some of this is landing for you and you're in the pit like I used to be, understand that first of all, you got to take that leap of faith. You got to listen to that small voice in your brain and actually go for it. And second of all, if there's other people around you just yapping into you, learn to cut that shit out. Learn to follow your own voice, because as I used to say, I'd rather make my own mistakes and learn my own lessons and take the longer route than just take all the smart advice of everyone around me and live a life that's not my own. If you want to work with me personally to completely change your life around by changing your physique, building a body that gives you confidence, then you can apply for my coaching program below, where you and I will work together to first of all change your physique and your body, which is the foundation from which you can get the confidence to change other areas of your life. If that interests you, second link in the description. See you next week. Bye bye.